The Monroe County Cancer Supporters Group began in 2009 with a vision that was simple: raise funds to support Monroe County residents facing cancer. That vision quickly gained momentum. The Monroe County Cancer Supporters hosts an annual Survivors Lunch and the beloved Blow Away Cancer Banquet. Through compassion, dedication, and the power of community, Monroe County Cancer Supporters continues to walk alongside neighbors during some of life's most difficult moments. For more on the 2026 Philanthropic Group, here is host Heather Clemens.
Hello, I'm Heather Clemens, the marketing consultant for the United Way of the Mark Twain area, and we are doing a series of podcasts with our 2026 Evening of Philanthropy honorees. And today with us, we have the Philanthropic Group, the Monroe County Cancer Supporters. Would each of you gentlemen please tell us your names?
Sure. My name is Glenn Turner.
And I'm John Turner. We're not related.
Right. We established that earlier. Not related.
Dennis Moss.
And Dennis. So welcome to all of you.
Thank you, Heather.
Thank you.
The first question I want to ask is, can you tell me a little bit about your organization and what are the things that you do within it?
I think I'm going to let John start, and then we'll go from there.
Okay.
Primarily, we separate people from their money and assist families and individuals dealing with a cancer diagnosis and treatment. We started in 2009. First year of activity was 2010.
Okay, so 16 years. Yeah.
And what was really funny back then, I can remember when we first started, we had a dream that we were going to get to a point where we could give $1,000 every 6 months to a cancer patient. And that year we gave $50. And we were really glad that we did. Mm-hmm. But we've gone a lot farther than that. And we're so thankful that we have.
So what would be the amount that you guys would be able to give, like, to this year's recipients?
$2,000.
Wow, that's impressive. So from $50 that first year to $2,000 now. That's really great.
Yes.
So do people, for someone who's not familiar, do people apply to get that, or does someone else nominate someone?
Well, we got set up by accident, actually, pretty smart. We've got 10 directors, we call them, mm-hmm. that serve a particular geographic area of the county, and it's their job to keep their ear to the ground, so to speak, and know who in their community might be dealing with a cancer diagnosis. We also, the churches know who we mm-hmm. are, and so if there's somebody that's in that circumstance, why they let us know. But that's the job of the directors, is to keep us apprised. We had some trouble with that early on. You know, people would be diagnosed and we wouldn't know it, but right. We think we're catching them all now, so to speak.
And this is for all the communities within Monroe County?
Monroe County.
Yes. Okay. So Monroe City, Paris, Madison, all of them.
Yeah,
okay.
Encompasses the county lines.
Okay.
So, you know, the thing about it is that by us taking this on to help cancer patients, the only thing that we have to have is that individual is undergoing cancer, mm-hmm. period. And we get a letter from a physician or a medical diagnosis of cancer, and that's all it is. We give that patient or individual funds at that time once we have that.
Okay. And how can the community get involved in your organization? Are there ways that they can volunteer for different things or give in different ways?
Well, I'm going to start one thing. We have certain different levels
okay.
of service in one way or the other, but one of the biggest ways is that from the very beginning is a sponsorship, and those sponsorships are to help us put on our banquet and any other cost that are derived for us to create funds to help the patients.
Okay.
And so those individuals are always needed, and we are so fortunate that those sponsorships have come forward all the time. And then, John, why don't you and Dennis say some more?
Well, the sponsorship status, we've been really surprised that people like to have their name associated with that, and so that's been really successful. The neat thing about that is that by having the activities of the organization sponsored, then if anybody makes a donation to the patient account, 100% of that, every penny of that goes to a cancer patient.
Okay.
And we didn't realize in the beginning how important that is to people to know, well, how much of my donation actually goes to somebody that needs it? And we're able to say 100%.
That's awesome.
The organization has a banquet once a year. That's our primary fundraiser. And the way people can get involved is, number one, come to the banquet. It's a great meal. We have silent auctions and live auctions. So the other way is folks make donations for the live auction and silent auctions. Families may put together bundles of packages, or they may donate furniture. They may donate hogs and cattle
Wow.
that have been processed, and that goes up for sale. And, of course, people bid on that. And usually we have somewhere around 600 people attend the banquets once a year, and that's really our primary fundraiser.
So there are lots of ways that people can help your organization, for sure.
You know, this year we were all surprised at this, and that is that it was the all-time high. $68,492 was raised
Wow.
in during that banquet and the week following, because people that weren't able to attend, they addressed not being able to attend and send a check in.
Wow.
So,
Wow, that's great.
And
Yeah.
you
The
might
beauty about the banquet is that every year it's in a different location. This year it was in Madison. Next year it's in Monroe City. The year after that it'll be in Paris. So we get the whole county involved. The geographical areas are involved in it, and it's kind of, sometimes it feels like it's at home when it's in your city.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
And that was, well, John and I could tell you, but how important that is that in any county, it starts back at high school. There's always a rivalry, even though there's a connection that you're all wanting to strive for the same thing. But there's that Monroe City against Paris, or Paris against Madison. Well, we didn't want any of that.
Right.
So we wanted to make sure that banquet is held at each of those places, to where that whole community could come in, and they do. And because this is not something that's only for Paris or for only Monroe City. This is for the whole county.
Whole county. Yeah, the whole county.
Just
So,
to put that in perspective, what he said about the $68,000, the population of Monroe County is less than 9,000.
wow.
So that's over $70 for every man, woman, and child that lives in the county.
Wow, that is awesome that people have given so much back to their community in that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So one thing I did want to ask all of you, and your answer is going to be different for all of these, but people can choose to do anything with their time and talents. People may choose very different ways to give back to their communities. So what is the why for each of you of why you are involved in this organization?
Well, the main reason for me is that ever since I was a little kid, cancer has been really hitting hard to Monroe County, okay? And my wife, who her cancer was prior to when we started this organization, and we were very fortunate because I had Aflac insurance. But a lot of people do not. And I remember still when we were going to Ellis Fishell Hospital, and Dorothy was saying, maybe we could stop, eat something. So all those costs that you're not used to spending sometimes keep people from enjoying their time with one another when they can have that time.
Right.
So that's one thing that I could see was really a big benefit. If we can just give some hope, some happiness to that person or family, it's all worth it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that was the biggest reason for me.
One thing to add to what Glenn said about the number of cancer patients or the number of cancer diagnoses in the county, there was a thought early on that for some reason there was a higher incidence of cancer in Monroe County. It turns out that that's not true. We're about average as far as the country's concerned. The only thing that's different is everybody knows everybody.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, as far as my involvement, two ladies, Melinda and Joanne, learned of a need in the county and the fact that there was no source of assistance for them. They shared that with one of our most active folks, Barb McCall, and Barb was a member of the Saddle Club at the time, and she said, well, why don't you come to the Saddle Club and tell them about it? Actually, Melinda and Joanne, I think, had no idea how to make something happen. And I was a member of the Saddle Club and saw I guess I'll use the word passion of those two ladies, how seriously they wanted to try to do something to help people in those circumstances. And so I thought, well, those ladies need some help. I'll give them a hand. And so, 16 years later, I'm still doing it.
Wow.
I had a friend that had been part of the cancer supporter group for years, maybe close to the beginning, and he asked me if I would be interested a little bit over a year ago. I had retired several years ago, and I really wasn't looking for another job. However, I couldn't think of a reason not to. I lost my father to cancer some 50 years ago, and I've lost a couple of sister-in-laws. And for whatever reason, it just felt like it was right that I should be able to be a part of this group and try to help somebody else's life be a little bit better, or at least help the patients and their families deal with things a little bit better. So that's when I became part of the group. And one of the things that as I became part of the group and saw how it worked, one of the things I said to myself as I was vice president is, don't do anything to screw this up. These people know how to do this right, and don't go in there and make some changes that's going to mess things up, because they know what they're doing. And so far I've stuck to that, hopefully.
How many group members do you guys have in your organization? A lot.
We probably got 20 to 25
Oh, wow.
that are always dependable, but we've got 8,000 besides that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and people step up when we need them. We'll go to Monroe City next year for the fundraiser, and the people of Monroe City community will step up to help put that thing on, and we never lack for help.
And this is unbelievable. 1 million since that $50, okay, to now, we have donated to cancer victims, patients, however you want to classify that, $1,360,000 some dollars.
Wow.
So it has been, and I think the very last number that Ned had, $364,400.
Wow.
So you think about that, and John talked about the population. We it's just unreal.
Yeah.
708 cancer patients individually.
So one question I wanted to ask each of you, too, is who inspires you? Who inspires you to be involved in this group, or who inspires you to give back to your community?
Well, my mother-in-law passed away of cancer. I guess that would be something. I'm kind of like Dennis in a way. When the need was there for somebody to step up, I couldn't think of a good excuse not to.
And I would also say, too, that, the nucleus group that when we got together and we decided that we wanted to take this thing and go. At that particular time, and I think it still goes on today because Dennis is here, and you kind of feed off one another. Mm-hmm. You know, and there's sometimes there's things that you can't help with, but that's okay as long as you know that you're going to do something else. So you kind of feed off one another, I think, in a way to where you actually encourage the other person to help simply because you're not asking, you're just there.
Right.
You know,
Right.
is that? I guess that's one way to say that.
I think the thing that inspires me, at least personally, is the cancer patients themselves. They are out there fighting this thing. A lot of them are doing it under difficult situations, but with a very positive mindset. And some of them knowing that things are not going to be good at the end, but they continue to fight, and that's inspiring me. How they do that. Mm-hmm. It's amazing how they continue to fight and keep their head up, and in a lot of cases do it with some level of humor and
grace.
And grace. That's right.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us for this conversation, and congratulations to our 2026 Philanthropic Group.